Alright. I'm gonna try and get a another run of this in. Last night did not go so well. Basically, I tried to do about 4 runs, and the first run, I got to level 6, and the game just froze on me. Music was still going, but everything just stopped, and it wouldn't accept any of my input, so I had to kill that run. Next run wasn't going so well, so I just abandoned it at level 5. Next run was going okay. It was passable. And then at level 14, I died like 5 times. So I was trying to make up time from the slowness from earlier. So I didn't get that. So I restarted that one. Then my 4th run, I was doing really well. And then in level 9, my computer blue screened and lost that recording, so we're gonna try again. I said, you know what, I'm going to sleep, I'll do this tomorrow. So let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, we didn't get the skip on the first level, but first level's the hardest one to get it on, in my opinion. So for those that don't know, for the way that any percent is set up, the category is you start on a save file that's got the game beaten. It can be 100%, or it can be, just enough to get all the Keystone. Basically, what you need is Snake Vision unlocked. Snake Vision is a power. I'll demonstrate it here when I'm in this portal. When you're not moving, you do this. That's hitting R3. And what that will do is, if you're missing any items in the game, the idea is that it'll show you where those are, and so you can track them down. Let me kind of time this. Okay, so what happens if you have access to Snake Vision is while the level's loading, if you activate it and deactivate it while the level's loading, then you can start moving during the timer that does your countdown. And so that's called Countdown Timer Skip, CTS for short. Not really, I guess, an official name, but that's kind of what I've called it. But every time that you get the countdown timer skip, it saves 7 seconds on the level, because you can start moving before you just don't have to wait on the animation of you appearing in the level. So the way that I do it is I'm listening to the beat of the music. Oop, did it too much that time. If you do it too many times, then you'll hear the Snake Vision sound turn on and off. And if that's the case, then you did it too many times. Ideally, you want to hear it go on once. At least that's true on the Switch version. I hear on the PC version, you want to hear the sound twice. Alright, we're gonna grab this. Kinda scooch up here. And this part can be a little difficult because this slide increases your speed. The idea is that you are on the top part of it, and come on. Okay. The idea is that you're on the top part and you're going to slide down, and so the game adds extra momentum to your slithering speed. But that's true of the entire slide. So even though we're not inside the slide, we're still touching it. And because we're touching it, it adds that speed to our momentum. that time. One thing that you'll also see me do is when I start a level, I'm going to call Doodle, he's the bird, to try and pick up my body. The reason I do this is sometimes when you mess up the countdown timer skip, you will not have access to Doodle. He'll make this sound that tells you he can't call him right now. And he'll just do that for the entire level. And there are some levels that you absolutely need him to do them. Like, for example, in this level you can kind of go up these walls that are slightly sloped. And you cannot go up this one without Doodle's help, so you'd have to go the long way around. And so what I'm doing is I'm checking to see if Doodle is available, and if he's not, then I would have to restart the level and go for that countdown timer skip again. I guess I didn't talk about the basic movement of this game. This is a game where it looks easy. Like, you watch this and think, oh, that's like, what's so impressive about this? It looks easy to me. But really, this game is learning the controls. Imagine, say, QWOP or Getting Over It. Let me get this. Oh, didn't get that one. But yeah, if you try to play QWOP, it's like next to impossible. This isn't to that extreme, but it is very, very difficult to move Noodle around. He's the name of the snake. Especially when you're first starting out. And even when you feel like you have really good control over his movements, the game is pretty good about ramping up the difficulty to match your skill. The first, I think, 5 levels are pretty tame as far as how hard they are, and level 6 is really where the difficulty ramps up significantly. So I did a lot of stuff there. There was a pillar that I kind of just slithered up. Certain walls in this game, if they have a sort of slope to them, so they're not like 90 degrees, then you can traverse up them. And you can the Keystone, the green one for this level, you can kind of go over the spot where it is above it and let your tail dangle to get it. Any part of your snake body can grab keystones and other items. And then there's a specific pillar that I went up the side of. Went up about a certain amount, and then you can turn around and make that leap to get the yellow keystone. Didn't get that one. So see, Doodle's making this sound effect. It means he won't pick me up, so I need to restart this level. Too many times. That shouldn't keep Doodle from picking me up, but this level in particular, you really need him for, I guess, one of the first not really a sequence break, but I guess big skips that you can do. There haven't been really any in the other levels. It's just been kind of go quickly through the intended path. But this one, we're gonna jump over a pretty large area to skip most of the level. And the leap requires that we have Doodle so we can get up to the top after we make the leap. And you'll see that right after this green keystone. After we get that, we're going to go back over this. And you see to our left, we're going to leap way over here. We're going to aim for that corner right there. That was a really good leap, actually. And you kind of need Doodle to help get you up here. And another thing that you need Doodle for is what's called bird coiling. I'm going to demonstrate it right here. This is a vertical pole, and you're not really supposed to go up these without anchor points. But by letting Doodle carry you up that, and by doing, it's not really too precise, but doing a certain angle on your slithering, you can get up that without any anchor points, and you can do that indefinitely. So if you had one that was like one pole that was just like stupidly tall, you can just go up it like that, no problem. Okay. Going up that wall lets us skip a huge little chunk of this level that's a pain to do. I didn't do that, which is unfortunate. We got to that corner though. That's okay. Don't want to slide off this. We're gonna cross this. See, there's a big, nice row of spikes underneath us. So this is a case where it doesn't actually matter how fast you get to the portal after you collect the last keystone, as long as you get there before it opens. Ah, crap. That's a carryover from me doing 100%, is double clicking the level that I just did. Which sucks, so now I gotta wait for all this, hit start, quit, and then go back to the next level. So we were on 6, now we gotta go to 7. Skip that time, and Doodle is available. So this level, this is supposed to be the ending of this little section. You go through a few bamboo cycles that are spinning, and go over a spike pit, and then you end up over here where you just got to climb up this to get the green keystone. But that convenient rock that they placed allows us to just kind of go up the back side and just snag it. And this is, right here, my least favorite part of the entire run, because it's literally just slither across this whole part of this level so that you can get up to this area, and there's not really anything you can do about cutting down that time. But we can go over here, and then this is a slightly sloped wall, so we can just go up the side of it like this, and that saves having to go up some bamboo to our left. This is going to be another bird coil. It's a little more difficult with this one because it's on moving bamboo, but that was actually fine. And now we're going to do... It looks like a pretty scary leap here, but it's actually not so bad. Okay, yeah, as long as you can get Doodle to catch you before you get too far down, you'll be okay on that. And then we got to get up here and latch onto this. And we're going to ride this up so we can jump to this from a little higher up. And that causes this little bamboo thing. One of my friends called it a fly swatter, so I kind of like that. I'm going to call it a fly swatter. But use that to ride up here, and then we just have a leap to the ending. This leap actually isn't too bad. It's a little scarier than it actually is. If you're patient with the leap, you should be fine. And what I mean by patient with it is, yeah, I got my best time. Cool. Is that if you try to leap to it too quickly, then you'll run into your tail that's still trying to catch up to your body. And then when you run into your tail, it loses all your, or not all, but most of your horizontal momentum. Didn't get that one. That's okay. Alright, still got Doodle though. So this level is like way harder in 100%, and it's not bad at all in any percent. And I'll kind of point out some things that are a little more difficult with 100% than this when they come up. This Keystone is deceptively difficult to get, because when you're, the game treats you being in water and you being out of water as two different movement mechanics. When you're in water, you're faster, but you can't coil as tightly around your own body. And when you're out of the water, you're slower, but you can coil tighter. And so you have a couple cases during the game where you're exiting water onto bamboo, and so you try to do your normal setups to get over bamboo, and your timing's messed up because you're going faster than you are normally used to. In addition to that, you can't coil tightly around it. Almost made that cycle. Try and get up here. Okay. And I didn't talk about any of the things that were different about this level. About 100%, that's okay. With this, after we get that yellow keystone, we just want to get over here and get down to the portal before it opens up. If I gotten the countdown timer skip, that would have been my best on that level. Okay, on this level, I'm going to do a leap over here. Then we're going to leap from here over to this side. And I honestly don't know why this switch moves these platforms out in front of me. I don't know why it rotates that, because you shouldn't even be here to begin with. But I guess they had it as a failsafe or something in case you did get over here without it. The layout of this level is a little weird for any percent because you have to come all the way over here to make this switch spin, so this ball rolls down here and lands it here to make this bamboo come down. You can't get up there, to our knowledge, without making that rock go down there. I believe all of us have tried a lot to try and skip that. But so we have to do those two switches to get over here, and then we want to get up here so that we can just kind of ride these poles down just the same path that the ball just took. And then we're going to come up here and snag this keystone. This is my least favorite keystone in the game because it is perfectly positioned to be just out of reach if you don't use Doodle to coil up that bamboo. And so it's really frustrating to try and go up that without Doodle, and it's like you're so close to it and like your tongue can taste it, and it's just, nope, you will not grab it. Here we're going to abuse the walls again, the sloped ones. And we can just barely get up here. And we can snag this yellow keystone that way. Just boop it so we can start heading back to the gate. Alright. So this level has the first big, like, potential death point in the run. So nice of it to be, 10 levels in out of a 15 level game. But we're gonna go up this way, and then we're gonna try and leap across to there where that save point is. Did not make it. So that's the shortcut way. I'll show you the backup method to get to it. And really the backup, it's only like a couple seconds slower. So it's not even that big of a time loss to go for it instead. But you come this way and go down this. And that just saves having to jump all the way over there. Okay, here. Snag that, and... okay, we're still okay. Sometimes you can get a bad leap over to this spinning platform. And one thing about Doodle's properties is that he can only do one, like, thing at a time. So he can, like, collect a keystone, or he can be demonstrating a cutscene, or he can be picking you up. And so he can't do, if he's holding on to you and you collect a keystone, then he's going to let go of you and collect the keystone, because the keystone is way more important than your lifelong friend, obviously, so he'll just drop you. And while he's collecting it, you can't call him, because he's busy getting the keystone. So, like in the case from earlier, if I were to get that green keystone and then I needed to call Doodle while I was collecting it, then I would not be able to. Go on this level. These are the spinny boys. We're gonna ignore them. So you can see that going in the hot coals doesn't kill you instantly. The spikes will kill you instantly, depending on what part of your body touches them, but the hot coals give you a little bit of time to let you realize, oh crap, I'm burning, I need to do something. And so you can just kind of jump in them and get out of it in time. Not so bad. We have another suggestion wall. You can get a little higher for take effect. There we go. Up here, snag that, and then we can go across. Here we have a lava bird coil, as you can see. Oops. So right now I'm curled around the wrong part of my body, so I needed to fix that and did it again. Okay. Basically what was happening in that case was I was getting on the outside of my body, and because of that I wasn't able to coil tightly enough to make that work. So I had to adjust how I was coiled around that. The end of this level normally is actually really cool. There's 3 different switches that you hit. Okay. There we go. There are 3 different switches that you hit that make a ball roll down a very specific path, and it raises up bamboo so you can get to that keystone, but as you just saw, I can kind of abuse a sloped wall and get high enough to just jump to it. Okay, now for me personally, frustratingly, we come to this level. In any percent, this level is not bad at all. But in 100%, this level sucks. Like a lot. And the reason this sucks in 100% is that there's one spot where you have a very, very difficult trick to do, and if you don't get it, then you lose close to 3 minutes because there's not a checkpoint between when you do it. There's not a checkpoint close enough to when you do it that saves you any time, really. But we need to push this, lower these platforms. So this checkpoint right here is the only one that we're going to get in the entire level from this point on. And in 100%, that's really bad, because you do a lot of things before you need to save again. But in any percent, you don't have to do any of that. There's still one little dangerous part, but it's nowhere near as dangerous as in 100%. I've lost so many runs to this level in 100%, it's really frustrating. That's why if you look at my live splits, you'll notice that level 12 is called the Run Killer, and that's for my 100% runs. But get up here. So there's a column you might see to our left and ahead of us. There's a coin on that pillar, and you have to leap over to it. And if you miss, then you just instantly die because there are spikes underneath you. And yeah, because you have to avoid those spikes, if you are slightly off, then it kills you, and you go all the way back to before that water wheel. And because of everything you have to collect, in the meantime, it's about 3 minutes lost, which is basically the run's over, and it's an hour into the run too, so it's unfortunate. We're gonna try and skip this cutscene. Nope. If you do, if you activate and deactivate snake vision at the correct time, then you can move Noodle during this cutscene. But I did not get it, so we had to sit there and just kind of watch it happen. The timing on it is pretty precise, actually. There is a way to get to this, to that green keystone, but without doing that switch up there. The problem is getting back from the keystone. You can't really return without dying in the hot coals. Alright, final 3 levels. Let's time that. Alright, so the first keystone that we're going to get in this level, there are 2 different ways to get it. One is a lot safer, the other is a lot more dangerous, but the more dangerous one saves 2 seconds, so we're going to do that one. We want to wrap around that hole, lean down here, and right as our head gets past it, we're going to leap for this. Now we can get down here to this first green keystone. Alright, now the rest of this level is difficult because of moving veins from these windmills and navigating through them. And then the next one's even harder because it throws wind into the picture. This one that's coming up here. There's a crosswind that makes it really difficult to navigate it. Not gonna make that one. And so we want to go around here and get up to here. And then we can just kind of go straight for it. That went really well. The crosswind can really mess you up on that. And now we have a little bit of a trek over to the final keystone. Gotta go up here. This wind's gonna blow us against this wall. And then this part right here is kind of a little introduction to having crosswind on a narrow platform, and you have these vertical poles to kind of wrap around and stabilize yourself so you don't fly away. That's like puny baby wind compared to what you get later, but at least it gives you the idea, and that same idea is present in the next 2 levels as well, but we won't deal with it in the next level because we can skip it, but in the last level we'll see what we can do with it. Alright. This is the hardest level in any percent, by far. And hopefully you'll be able to see why. I'm gonna need to all doodle here. We want to get up to the top of this so that I can get over here to this platform, and we're going to collect this yellow keystone. The way this level is laid out, it's kind of designed to have a central hub, and there are 3 branches of that hub to go to each of the 3 keystones. And the keystone's at the very end of this pretty difficult path. But in all 3 paths, we can get them from behind and not have to worry about those at all. This is the hardest one to get, in my opinion. You want to coil around a couple times here, and then leap to here. I think I got it. And then if your tail gets close enough to that platform up there, then it will activate a wind current that you can get by going here, and it'll pick you up and put you up here. So that actually worked fine. Okay, and then last keystone is generally the hardest one to get, agreed upon by the community. There's a pink one, and there's a couple precise movements to get up to it. First we gotta get up to this little platform, and then we need to leap over here. That's the first part. And now we gotta get up to... Nope, it's not gonna work. We need to get up to this. Oh, crap. Well, that's unfortunate, because I gotta go and collect that green keystone again. So what's gonna happen when I collect this green keystone is a glitch in this level. Whenever you collect the 3rd keystone, it doesn't matter whether it's been the same one all 3 times, this little cutscene plays where this platform raises up. The idea is that after you've collected the 3rd one, then that opens up the path back to the start, or not to the start, to the portal at the very end. But I'm guessing whenever you collect a keystone in this level, whether you die or not, it just increments a counter in the code, and once that counter hits 3, it just plays that cutscene. So it's not like it's 3 unique numbers or anything like that. Alright, so... Okay, that should be a lot better. Yeah, we're good now. Alright, so now after that, we're gonna slither up to here, grab this, and because that cutscene already played, I can just go here, and we can get to the end of the level. Alright, so now we just got one more level. And then we'll be done. Okay, so this narrow bridge in front of me, you're supposed to hit a switch that raises vertical poles so that you can cross it. But if you kind of hug the right side of it, then the wind will push you enough into it that you can cross it without those poles. And we're going to cross it this way first. We're getting over to this platform. We're getting over here this way first, and we're going to come back to this platform and get to it a different way. but there's a reason that I'm going to it like that first. Okay, so here, those look awful, so we're gonna just ignore them and jump over here. So here's our first keystone of this level, and then after we get this one, we're going to go back to the start of the level. And that platform I mentioned earlier, we can get to a little faster by not going over that bridge again. Platform's right in front of us. What we can do is we can leap over here. And when the camera zooms out, Doodle will pick you up and put you up there. But he won't do that the first time that you get to that platform, so you kind of have to trigger that area for it to work. And after that, we can slither up the side of this to skip a huge portion of the level. And we can get the pink keystone by backtracking over here a little bit. And there's a nasty crosswind on that keystone. So here, it's not a bad cycle on this actually. We're gonna wait on this to come down. And then this little part works out nicely. You can just kind of go straight across and then up to this, and it'll raise you up. You can come over this and get up to this. And then we're going to go on the back side of this because that'll keeps us from having to rely on a wind cycle. You can kind of get up here, and now I'm seeing where this platform is. It's gone away, so I can just go straight across. If that platform were underneath me, I would latch onto it and let it carry me over. But if it's on the other side, I can just do that. And now we have the final little area to traverse. There's this huge crosswind, so we need to go up here. You need to get a little bit of height to actually make this, so we got to go up here, and from here we can leap across all the way, and the wind will let us get all the way over there. So now it's just a trek up to the final portal. Alright, and that's time. So 42:32, that's not bad. Really anything under 45 is pretty decent. Under 40 is really good. But that'll suffice. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll try and get any percent down. I'll work on any percent a lot more if, say, I'm chosen for, say, like GDQ or something. I'm doing this just to kind of show that I can run this category. I just haven't put the time into it that I have for 100%, because I really like 100% a lot more. But at least this will demonstrate that I know the path, and I can run it and work on it if necessary. So anyway, I will stop the recording, and if you watched, thank you very much.